So I had a dream about AW and SOC where in the dream I basically got an individual light blast from them. And after I woke up from the dream, that very day was the day that Medical Medium released the Light Blast podcast that just came out the other day. And I don't think that's a coincidence at all, that I had this dream and then I woke up and saw that that podcast had been released. It's pretty amazing and miraculous, and in my opinion, absolutely not a coincidence for me that that happened. So just to give you a little backstory of what led up to the dream, a couple of weeks ago, I got some really bad bug bites on my arm. They were really super itchy, but they were starting to heal, and then suddenly they got really itchy again, and I scratched them to the point where I think I infected my arm. And the next day it got really swollen in that area, and the itching was like completely out of control. Just the worst I've ever felt. And I kind of got freaked out, and I was starting to get kind of scared about it. And I called my mom and asking her, what she thought I should do. And I wasn't sure if I needed to go to the doctor or something. And I was on Google trying to figure it out. And ultimately, like later that night, I was just like I do most days, asking the angels for help, asking God for help, asking Jesus, asking Spirit of Compassion, asking anybody who would listen to me and who would please help me with this, because it was really intense and it was overwhelming me on top of everything else that I already was dealing with, health-wise and stress-wise and life-wise and every which way. And it was just too much, and I was just begging them to please help me. And a lot of times when I'm having like an acute health issue, I will ask Spirit of Compassion to please send me like a light healing, or send me help or guide me what to do so that I can treat the symptoms or manage it better or whatever. So I was doing all of that, and I was literally begging God and the angels and Spirit of Compassion to please help me with this. So then that night I go to sleep and I have this dream. And in the dream, AW is somewhere where he has a very small group of people, and he's going to be going through and giving everybody kind of a reading and maybe some healing light or something. And so there was people ahead of me, and I was the last one. So he helped everybody else, and then he got to me, and he didn't say too much to me, and he just put his hand on my back, and then he was just quietly standing there. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, he must be listening to SOC, so I'll just, stand here patiently and wait to see what happens next. And then after a few moments of that, just standing there with his hand on my back, he took his other hand and put it over top of the part of my arm where it was swollen and itchy. And then in that moment, I felt this light blast energy come through my whole body. And I'm struggling to find the words to explain what this felt like. It was the most profound amount of peace I have ever felt in my life. It literally felt like I was being touched by heaven. Um, the only thing I can think to compare it to is when I've seen on TV people describe their near-death experience and how they felt super peaceful, and it's just this otherworldly feeling of where everything is good, everything's going to be okay, you're not worried about anything, all of your concerns just melt away. Like, that's what it felt like. Just everything was absolutely all right in this moment, and just profound peace. I can't think of another word to explain. And in my dream, it lasted maybe for a few moments, and I was just basking in this amazing feeling. And then it started to fade away. And AW started to fade away, and that part of the dream was kind of coming to an end. So in my waking life, like I said, I talk to Spirit of Compassion a lot, and I'm always asking him for help along with God and the angels. And so in my dream, I started to do that. And I felt like the message I was getting back was I needed to remember this feeling, that I needed to bring it forward and remember it. And I also felt that it was something that I should share. I don't often share a whole lot on social media because it's a bit outside of my comfort zone to do that, but I'm trying to get better about it. Um, so that seemed to be, along with this profound feeling of peace that I was lucky enough to experience. I also got that message of remembering what it feels like and bringing it forward, because I feel like what that means is, when I'm struggling, when I'm having, on whatever level, a hard time, if I can try to remember this feeling of peace and bring that forward, it's almost like having the healing experience all over again. And speaking of healing, so when I woke up, my arm was itching a bit, but then over the next maybe couple of hours, the itching went away and it started to visibly get better. And then later that night, I could already tell the swelling had gone way down. And then the next day, which I guess that's today. Sorry, I get confused about what day it is sometimes. Um, the next day, the swelling is almost completely gone and it doesn't itch at all right now. So, I'm convinced that AW and SOC actually were in my dream and they actually gave me a light blast healing. And then I wake up and I see the light blast podcast just got released. And I'm like, yeah, that's not a coincidence. That is absolutely a confirmation to me, and it really touched me and moved me to tears right when I saw that, because I thought God was listening. The angels were listening. SOC, Jesus, they were all listening to me when I was begging them for help the night before. To me, that is absolute validation and proof that I was listened to, I was heard, and not only that, but help was provided. I mean, I was given this a miraculous healing in my dream, but even though it happened in my dream, it felt completely real. And then I have the real evidence of how my arm got better. So I don't know what else to say about that. I'm blown away by it, but at the same time, it doesn't surprise me at all because I completely believe in these miraculous things that we can receive. So, I'm thrilled and I'm amazed, and it makes me feel so loved and supported by the light, by God and the angels, by SOC, by Jesus, by everybody, by AW. I've never had the opportunity yet to meet him in real life. Maybe I will someday, but I feel connected to him more than ever after having that dream. And I am so grateful for everything that he does for us. And I'm so grateful for all of the medical medium information and all of the tools and just everything. I'm super grateful for the angels, and I'm just grateful for all of it. So anyway, I felt that I needed to share that, and hopefully if you listen to this video, hopefully my sharing of my story can help you in some way. And I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to AW and SOC, and I'm just over here trying my best and um living my life, the best I can. I'm struggling through my healing journey at the moment, but I when something like this happens, it strengthens my faith and my belief that I'm on the right track with my healing, that all of these things are real, that the light is real, that the angels are real, that they really are helping us, that even God, who I spent most of my life not really believing in God, but with the medical medium information and everything that Anthony says, I started to believe in it more. And so I've started incorporating more, specifically trying to ask God for help. And so it just strengthens my faith that God is real and he's listening, he or she or whoever, whatever you believe in. the light, it's listening, it cares, and it's helping us. So anyhow, I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. But thank you so much for listening.